Computer.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Welcome to this episode of Just Our Take. I'm Nancy Smith.
And I'm Danny Ingves.
We haven't recorded in a little while. This is going to be fun.
No, we have not. Life just keeps
That's
getting
not
in
a
the way.
lie.
Wait, that's not a lie. It is a lie.
I've already lied.
Nobody
Nobody
knows because you
lied.
haven't uploaded them all, so they don't know if you're
There you
lying
go.
or
Well,
not.
we're missing only one. So this will
It's only
be,
just
and
one.
this will be number 9 that we've uploaded. So we may have to drop 2 episodes.
What will they do with all that content?
I don't know. They'll have to love it. They'll have to be entertained. Oh my goodness. Well, good evening and welcome to this episode. And our title and our topic tonight is I should have lied.
Should have
You know,
lied.
there are times we need to lie. So I thought that'd be a fun topic. Consider.
Fun topic. I'm not good at it, so I
Well,
can't think of anything.
that's why I should have lied because I'm not good at it either. And there are times I should have absolutely lied, but I didn't. So it's all good. But there are times when you need to lie. There are times that you should not tell the truth. There are times that the truth can be worse than a lie, I think. And there's a couple examples we have of that, so I think it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I have to agree. Yeah. Okay.
But let me do the
Okay.
disclaimer real fast. Let's get that out of the way. And just so people know this, in case they're listening for the first time, we do say this. I don't think anybody thinks this is medical advice, but dare I say, someone might come at us and take this very seriously and use it as law.
We
Don't
can't
do
get through a disclaimer without laughing. Let's take this as medical advice.
it. Okay, this podcast is not to be used as a professional or medical guide, but rather entertainment, a place to share experiences, reality stories, and woes, and just fun stuff.
Sounds like a plan.
That's it. This should not be replacing a qualified medical expert.
And that is some good disclaiming right there.
Yeah, we don't want anybody in trouble. Not us.
No, no, no,
Oh,
no, 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 no. Oh,
oh my goodness. So,
what you drinking? And you're not allowed to lie.
ooh, that could have
Okay,
been
what you got?
good. Ooh,
Wait,
ooh,
wait.
ooh,
What do you
ooh.
got? Are you drinking wine?
Yeah, I sure am. Vitamin water.
Oh,
I tried to
so
lie.
you're lying. You put
I,
vitamin water in a wine glass to lie.
cheers. I tried to lie. Well, you would tell me what you're drinking. What you
Okay.
drink?
Well, want to see my new cup that I got at my favorite Pittman craft fair? And I don't drink out of straws, but I couldn't resist
Oh,
this.
this
Isn't
is
that cute?
yummy. I love
I know.
it.
I love my green Philly stuff.
That's a
But
little
I
weird.
do have this.
Oh my gosh, you went leaded?
I
Ooh.
did. I actually haven't had a drink in, wow, well over a week. So,
Oh, it's too long. I get it then.
yeah.
Well,
So,
which one are you going to do
cheers.
a toast with? Cheers.
Cheers. This one. I am thirsty though.
Good. Hmm.
Mm. So I was just waiting so that I could actually take a sip because I am really, really thirsty.
Well, I am going to be going for the old wineroo, but not tonight.
So I'll
And
probably drink that and then I don't know when I'll have another drink. I probably won't even finish that. So,
that's
um,
all good. It's all
yeah,
good.
I should drink more, but I don't.
Yeah. Well, that's all right. Well, we could talk about that at another podcast as to why we're not.
And we'll name that why Danny's husband believes she should drink all the time.
Oh, there you go. So there's no real reason why you don't drink.
I just don't always
Bothers
feel like it.
you, don't want
Yeah.
it.
Sometimes I'm just too tired. And if I drink wine, I'm going to be out quicker than I am on a regular basis when I sit
That's
still.
fair.
So,
I get it.
yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Will you sleep through the night if you drink a glass of wine? You know, middle-aged women tend to get kind of funny after we start drinking alcohol.
So if I drink this now and just sip it all night, I'll be fine. If I were to drink two, I'll probably wake up a couple of times.
Yeah, I get
Not even
that.
just to go to the bathroom,
Up.
just because.
I think it's the sugar or whatever it is. It's a stimulant, and you crash, and then you come back. I don't know. I heard it, and I just can't remember the reason why. Doesn't stop me though.
I
Doesn't
just think
stop me.
that getting older is just sucks.
It does and it doesn't.
Mm,
We're only, in the
okay,
50s. We have
I'm gonna
60s,
fight it.
70s, and I know a lot of people in their 80s who are a lot of fun. I told you about that couple way back when on our episode, Staying Young. That couple, I'm telling you, I have to get in touch with them. They are
Do they
so much.
drink every day?
I don't know about every day, but they certainly do their fair share of drinking. They are
Okay.
definitely a drinking, partying couple. I told you they outdrank us at the wedding. I couldn't keep
Well,
up.
I look forward to the day that we get to meet them. So,
Oh, they're fun.
Probably
They're
way more fun than
fun.
me, but
Francis and Bill. I'll give you that
okay.
little bit.
Francis and Bill, when you listen to this podcast, make Nancy get us
Yes.
together.
Make a
All these
date.
years.
Make a date. Oh my goodness. And
Okay.
anybody else listening, let's put it out there. We've been back and forth with this podcast and it's meant to be entertaining. I hope you're getting some entertainment from it. Send us some ideas for topics that you'd like to hear us talk about. I have a few friends that have been reaching out saying they're listening. Thank you, thank you. Mwah. Love you
Okay.
guys. And keep listening and send us ideas what you want to hear us talk about because we do have a fun spin on most things.
Ideas would be great, but also, I mean, I do have people every time I see them like, oh, when are you going to have me on? I have things I want to talk about. So
All right, well,
we
let's
have
do
to
it.
somehow incorporate that at some point. So I
We have
don't know
so many
how.
topics, so many that we've got in the on the bucket, so to speak. Some in the lineup that we have to get to that we really do need to. But I want to be sure that we do them justice, that we do pay them good homage to the topic at hand. If it's a person like you have your friend Regina would be perfect for the
Hmm.
sports topic.
Hmm.
I have friends I have other friends that would be really good for if we take a political slant that have written, or even someone who just is older and more seasoned than us, has good expert, experience and advice. So
Yeah,
we have,
absolutely. And there's a lot of people that are a lot smarter than us and have a lot and have a lot of opinions.
we,
We certainly have our own and a lot.
we do.
But I do.
Yeah, I think
I
they're
love to
funny
listen to what other people have to say. So
for
I'm up
sure.
for
For
it.
sure.
Okay.
Good. Well, that's good. Now that we're drinking our drinks, we're having a good groove. Thought we'd dive into our topic.
All right, bring it on.
Lied. Well, I thought this was kind of funny because one of the best podcasts out there now is Kylie Kelsey, who has risen from normalcy to stardom in, I don't know, a year. She's
I
amazing
love
and
her.
she's a great podcast, not gonna lie. But in this episode, we're saying we should have lied. So there,
The opposite of
the
Kylie Kelly.
opposite of that, we should have lied.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there are times, and it's funny because my research for the hot topic tonight, my research showed that there are times that you should lie and it's okay to lie. So first, we're going to get that out of the way. I thought that'd be kind of fun to talk about.
Okay.
There are times that you should lie. I mean, it's known. I mean, little white lies, they don't say that for nothing. Little white lies do apply. There are times you don't want to say somebody in those yoga pants shouldn't wear them.
I
They're
don't
wearing
think I'd
yoga
ever tell anyone that they should be wearing
they're
yoga
wearing the
pants.
yoga pants.
I
But
mean,
anyway,
don't ask me if you look good. If you ask me, you know you don't look good in them.
here's the deal. I have a thing about that. If you're comfortable with how you look, then who cares? Who cares?
That's true. That's true. I'm not about body shaming or whatever. I have my own insecurities. But if
We
you're
all,
asking somebody to tell you the truth, then you're either what's the word about fetching for compliments, looking for
we're glutton
somebody to
for
say you look
punishment.
amazing, which if they look amazing, they know they look like amazing. Or they're like, sure, I look like, oh, I shouldn't wear these, but maybe somebody will justify it. And then you want someone to lie to you. But I
Should have lied.
wouldn't, but you know what? If I came to Ella and asked her, my daughter, if I asked her, um, do I look fat in these? Because I won't ask my husband because he won't answer. Um, but I
Good
think
man,
he'd tell me
smart,
the truth. I
smart man,
think he'd tell me
Tom.
the truth. Yeah, but
Don't
and I think he'd tell me the truth. But if I asked Ella, she would
he wouldn't.
absolutely tell me the truth.
No.
So if I want the truth, I'm going to ask
Okay.
her. I don't, and then sometimes I go, you could lie to me, but I don't want her to lie to me. I want someone to
So
be honest.
when I was
So,
first married, well, Pete and I first when we dated, we didn't live together until we were married, which you probably know this story, but I
okay.
was very little, very thin, and that was wonderful. I was so young, that young, stupid weight. The youth is
You
wasted
probably
on the
thought you were
how about
fat
great
too.
bodies are wasted on the young too. How
Yeah,
about
you don't
that?
even know that you're not
You
fat.
don't need those then. Now you need the great body. Anyway, so I remember I had gotten sick. I had gotten some type of, it was almost like a dysentery, like Shigella. I'd eaten some food and it was tainted and it was just horrible. I lost 10 pounds in a week. It was horrendous. I'm not even going to say how much I weighed. 89 pounds.
I
Anyway,
knew you were going to say 89 pounds. I just knew it.
it's
I
so
have never
wrong.
weighed 89
But if I
pounds
was
ever.
young, I am only 4'11".
I
Well,
know.
I was. Who knows what I am now? So anyway, I had gotten sick and we got married and year after we're married, I was going to work, putting on my clothes, and I swear I said to Pete, I said, this new dry cleaner is shrinking my clothes. Wait, and the best is, and he's dead serious where he goes, really? I go, oh yeah. She's shrinking my clothes, the skirts, everything. Nothing fits right. Didn't even think of it. So I went into work, and at the time I was still working at Jefferson Hospital, and I went down and was in the one room. I didn't have a scale because who needs a scale when you're 20 something? Who gives a
Right.
damn how much you weigh
Right.
then? Like, I mean, and even when you're getting married, you don't care either, I guess. I don't know, whatever. Maybe you do. So anyway, I jumped on the scale and I was like, "Doing! Are you kidding me? I gained 20 pounds from the time I was sick or something to that moment." I was like,
Oh my gosh.
whoa. Anyway, that was an eye
Whoa.
opener. But that was also because we lived together. We didn't go out as much. We were sedentary. We were sitting on the sofa. We weren't doing as much running. I probably was eating and cooking more and just literally easy to gain the weight. Easy for anybody. So anyway, he
I
didn't
was going to say
tell me.
something
He
really
lied.
mean.
He
I was gonna be like,
lied.
you could have been lying down. You could have been burning those calories another way. But
The dry cleaners shrinking your clothes. Are you kidding me? That's so funny. Anyway, so
okay. Okay.
he, he lied. Thank you. Thanks for
Lied.
lying.
He had to lie. It was, yeah, he had to lie.
Yeah, right. Isn't that the truth? Oh my goodness. But anyway, all right, so I did a little research like I try to do for our episodes rather than come up with everything. I like to go to the experts, Google, and find out exactly when it's a good time to lie. So I thought it would say when there are times that you need to lie before we give our examples because, it justifies what we're about to say. So so we don't look like we're so callous with our lies. And when I should have lied, but anyway. All right. So anyway, I just thought I'd go through a list of things where there are times you should lie. Maybe to protect somebody, protect them from harm.
Okay.
When that kind of would be. I don't know what example that would be, but
I don't know. When Ella was 2, she kept jumping off of one of those little tiny like kitchens, like little kids' kitchens
yeah.
in a friend's house and in her best friend's house. And Ella was only 2, and she kept jumping off it. And they told me, the mom told me or whatever. So when she came home, I had to tell her, because the only way to get things through to Ella when she was that little was like, do you understand that you're going to die? The next time you jump off of that from the
Extreme.
top, you are going to die. You're never going to see mommy again. Like she didn't understand death or anything, but I literally like, and again, that's extreme, but she was also 2. And so I had to lie to her. I had to tell her that she was going to die when she jumped off like the 2-foot kitchen, but she was going to hurt herself. But I wanted her to understand the severity of it because there was no in between with her. It was this or
Or
this,
nothing.
you know.
I'm kind of like
Yeah.
that. I'm a black and white person, so I'm all or nothing. This is so funny. You made me think of a story of what I used to do with Delaney. And Delaney, I know, is going to listen to this episode. She'll probably laugh. So I think Delaney's very creative, and I think she has an imagination. But I used to worry that she would probably say things that were not true, maybe not intentionally lie, like, when I should have
Okay.
lied. But I used to say to her when she was like 2 and 3, Delaney, and she'd be wearing an orange shirt, and I'd say, "Tell mom if it's the truth. Are you wearing a blue shirt, or is that the truth?" "No, that's not the truth, mom." "What, are you wearing an orange shirt?" "Yes, that's the truth." "Yep, that's the truth. Remember, that's the truth."
Okay.
So I used to do those exercises with her because I think she had like a way, and she would be funny about it. But I was always so concerned. I'm like, does she really know when there's a time you need to tell the truth? Definitely.
Okay. As a parent, that was your job to do that, to make sure she
Yes. So we
understood
thought
that.
that was a good lesson to do with her, to teach her that's really the truth. That's really what shirt you're wearing.
Okay.
Remember
I
that.
like that.
It was good.
I know
He's
I've told you the
the exact
story
opposite.
about Grace when so I don't if I've mentioned it before, like my husband can sing, my girls can sing, my mother-in-law can sing. I cannot. But Grace, I did not believe she could sing, and she every time we would watch American Idol together, she would be like, I'm gonna go out for American Idol. I want to sing, blah 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 blah. And then we kept hearing her sing. We were like, honey, you can't sing. Suck
Oh,
at singing.
my mother
And
always
we
told me
had
I
to
couldn't
tell her
sing.
that because we would watch all those bloopers and all those kids who went on and became bloopers in the beginning of American Idol. And I didn't want to do that to her. Well, the joke was on me because she
She
actually
could
can
sing.
sing and she's making a career out of it. It just took, I
Yes.
guess, her to develop and her to realize what she could do with that tool and then have a couple of voice lessons. And she still takes voice lessons to this day to keep everything sharp. But boy, she can sing. And I'll never forget the day we told her she couldn't sing and she was terrible. Now,
Oh,
she never wanted to go on American Idol. It's not really her thing. 7 or 8 is not what she wants to do now, not like that. But it was just the funniest thing. And I remember us talking, we're like, no, we are going to tell our kid the truth. Who are these parents letting these kids go to American Idol and they can't sing? Like they literally
thinking they're
can't sing.
amazing. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
this reminds me of another story. So there's a woman that I see at the supermarket, and actually I've been seeing this woman, I'm not kidding you, for I want to say for almost 20 years. And Pete and I always, there's always exciting. And honestly, this is the worst thing ever. And nobody judge me on this. This should be in my no judge right now, but
Oh, I
don't
can't
judge.
wait.
Don't judge. So I
Mm.
whip out my phone and I take pictures. Now, I don't post them anywhere. I don't share them. But this woman's hair, okay. Have you ever seen like the Peanuts and it's Sally or the one? I think
Yeah, 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 yeah.
she has a hair that comes out like this on the sides, and she has this thing that comes up the top. It's legitimately like separated, goes out to the sides and the thing at the top. I should show a picture of it.
Wait,
Where's
I
our
think we've
producers?
talked about this
Producer,
before.
call
I
up the
think you
picture
told me
of
about her before.
not Lucy, of Sally. Bring, but where's our
Uh,
producer? Where's our pictures?
Lucy.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this woman, and she has dark hair. It's literally sprayed up like this and out to the sides where it's so distinctive. Like she takes the time to style it that way. I
So
don't get
it's
it.
like one of those styles from like the 80s or the
Not
like
even a
early
style.
90s and you
It's
just never
goofy.
changed your hair because I know a couple of people like that.
Not only
Like
that,
never changed the color, never changed the style,
it's
same
just
curls, same spray.
it's goofy. It's literally like
Yeah,
this weird
that's just pure goofy. Yeah. I don't
goofy. She's never changed that, is right. She's never changed it. So literally I'm always snapping. Now, you tell me if anybody in her household ever said to her, "Hey mom, what's with the do?" I can't imagine they think that that's okay. I'm looking right at her. She walks in public.
Hmm.
She looks so silly. It's
I
so
don't
silly.
know. I
But
don't
she likes it.
know.
So again, we go back to if you like it, keep it. Do it.
Go for it.
Someone's
Yeah.
got to be lying to her, though.
All right.
I'm saying someone's lying to her. Anyway, so do no harm. Sometimes you need to lie. That's one of the reasons and one of the times you want to lie. Another time you might want to lie is to preserve privacy or boundaries. That's easy. You don't want to share something like if I happen to know that my neighbor's moving, which I happen to know my neighbor was moving probably before anybody else. Maybe everybody else knew, but it wasn't my business. So when they asked me, don't know, didn't know. I had to lie. Makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes just don't do that. Avoid unnecessary hurt. Of course, if you have a heart in your chest, you're going to tell a white lie not to hurt somebody.
Yeah. I agree. I'm trying to think of just even a simple one, but
Hmm.
I can't. I'm sure we just do it all the time.
We do it
Like
all the time. That's a
all the
natural.
time.
Okay, in professional or social diplomacy,
Yeah.
100%. One of my examples kind of goes hand in hand with that one, so I'll bring that up in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one here is, of course, in fiction or performance. So anybody like your girls that perform and do
Mm-hmm.
plays, and of course you're going to quote unquote lie because you're not
Right.
really that person. You're actually playing a character. So I guess you consider that a lie if you look at it that way. But I don't know if I call it a
Wait,
lie.
let me just back up right there. So you can say, yeah, that was great. That was great, which we do all the time. And then when
Well,
their
I
friends
wasn't
get
talking about
off
how
or
good
something
the
like that.
performance was. I was talking about being a character. You have to play the character you're lying when you play a character.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's acting. But okay. Okay. In
But
fiction or
what were you going
performance.
to
I
say?
got you.
I'm a
When
Mr.
they come
Free.
off stage and you're like, hmm,
Hmm.
you did well. You did awesome. And I don't mean for my kids, because they're always awesome.
Always awesome. Of course, I know. I've been to see them. They are.
See, are some of them white lies? We'll never know.
Not mine.
No,
I just
not
wouldn't
mine
say it.
either. Not mine either.
Well, anyway, so there are some times that you need to lie. So I should have lied about a few things. So I can bring up a couple examples because let me tell you, there are several things that I've done in my life that I've told the truth that I wish I hadn't. That I truly wish. Because at the time I was saying to myself, it's the truth. You should be saying it. But I didn't say it right. Like there's a way to say it. I'll give you one of my examples. This is one of my examples that I put in our script for today, and I thought it stuck with me. So I worked in, as you know, imaging facilities and diagnostic imaging, and I was a marketing manager, and I did that for two. I was a district person, whatever.
Hmm.
And I worked with a girl. She was an MRI tech, and she was lovely, and I loved her. I really did. She was gregarious, funny. She always had a funny thing to say. She even came to my wedding. I mean, I went to her baby shower. She actually threw a baby shower for me. Wonderful. We were good friends. We were really good friends. She was a great person, but she was very reactionary emotionally. And she knew it. She knew it, but she wanted to be the manager of one of the sites that I worked at. And she was going, and in my mind, I don't know if I was manipulated by the situation because somebody else wanted the position. I don't know if the manager that we both reported to kind of swayed me to feel this way. No excuse. But anyway, that manager asked me, do you think this person should be the manager? And I hesitated and I said, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think because, again, the emotional involvement, sometimes you can be, and I tend to be emotional, so I certainly feel like I have room to say that. At least I was more than as well. And I said, I don't think she should have been. I think that it would have caused too many problems. Also, there were people that she was already kind of batting heads with. And I
Okay.
saw that. And I thought, here are people, and we were small. How many people? We worked with 14 people. So
Yeah.
it was not getting along with several of them, and she had to manage them. I just saw a problem on the road. So when I had an opportunity and I was speaking with this girl, she asked me, I was honest. I said, I was asked if you should be manager, and I said, you're qualified, but I don't know that you're really the right fit for it. And I don't, and she was like, what? What? Are you
Yeah,
kidding?
that could have gone over well. Not at all.
It didn't go over well, and I haven't spoken to her since.
Oh.
No.
How long did you work with her after that?
If you
Nah.
think she's qualified, then give her the job.
I think I lost your camera. I think you lost your camera.
You did?
Oh,
You
there you
can't
are.
see?
Oh, now I can see it. Yeah, yeah. Like you literally, I couldn't see anything. Your internet is unstable. Oh,
Oh, we love
my
it.
internet's unstable? Of course it is.
Well, you can see me now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay.
We'll
All
be
right. Anyway, it's
we'll be
fine.
fine.
It's
Let's continue
worst
on.
case, I have to shut my
Anyway, so
camera off for a minute.
the tragedy of all of it is I've lost a good friend. I should have
Yeah.
lied. I should have. I should have lied. There's a time, and maybe I'm going to soften this up a little bit. Let's say I'm not even. Let's say I didn't lie. Let's say I should have handled it differently and should have told how I felt or what I said or whatever differently. That may be part of it, you know.
Yeah.
And it's funny when I was script for it, I thought, oh, this kind of gets into regrets. Like, do we have regrets? That's like a whole nother episode. I think we should do an episode on regrets because
Yeah.
that's a really,
Yeah. I'll start thinking of
I
those.
don't know
I'll
what kind of
plan
fun
for
we'll have. I don't know if we'll
that.
laugh, but we could talk about the regrets we wish we did, you know. The
Well,
one
all
that
we can do is laugh about our regrets because there ain't shit we can do about it
got
otherwise.
can't change them. Can't change them.
No.
Anyway.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I get that.
lost a
I
good
get that.
friend. I should have told a lie.
I get that. And didn't you have
How
another
about you?
too? No, I can't really. I know that there's a zillion things. I know that I've always had a hard time with saying what was on my mind. I'm a what you see is what you get, and I can't lie, and I kind of just my mouth would go before my I could stop it. Um, so I'm sure I have a lot of little instances like that. I had that one I told you. I think I told in one of another episode about we were at a wedding of Todd's friends. We were only
Hmm.
dating at the time, and I don't know. She said something about her dad being a chiropractor and then asked me something. And next thing I know, I went off on how shitty chiropractors are and how they cause whiplash and do damage. And I was like in the moment, I was so caught up in neurology and headache specialists that I couldn't stop myself. And it fell flat. And I think her and her husband or boyfriend got up and walked away. And I was like, okay, I was too much. So that's
That
a regret, and it was uncomfortable. When I think back, I was young. I had to be 23. And when I think back, I'm like, oh God, what
we
was
think
wrong
we
with you? Keep your mouth shut. So I have learned to like, I'm not perfect at it. I'm still trying to keep that, especially with all the new positions that I'm getting at work. There's so much I have to be a vault at. And I also want transparency. And it's like, what to tell,
uh-huh.
what not to
Hold
tell.
your
And it's,
tongue.
yeah. And it's best
Tell
to
a
just not
lie.
say anything until it can be told. So, yeah. Anyway, I want to
Yeah.
ease people's feelings. I want to make people feel rest assured that I'm thinking about them, that we're doing this, this, and this, but I can't until. So it's an uncomfortable position. So
Now I get it.
um,
I get it.
I'm sure I've got a zillion stories. I can't think of any right off the spot, but that one always stands out that I just should have kept my mouth shut.
No,
And I
we
say
all,
things to my sisters that I'm just like off the cuff. I'm like,
yeah.
why did I say that? Like, why did I say,
I
you
remember one
need to
time
wear
you
that
said
shirt?
something to me. I remember something you said to me, and I was like, what? But I didn't want me to,
Right.
I'll tell you what it was.
Yes. Tell me right
So
now.
oh my gosh, it was a really interesting story. So I was, as you know, I had Delaney. And then I got pregnant with Ethan when she was like 6 months old. And that was somebody else's plan, not really mine. But
Right.
anyway, that's the way it went. And you were like, well, and I said this to him, and you're like, well, you have bigger problems to worry about. I was like, what does that
Wait,
mean? What is
like in what context was I was saying
I
that for?
don't even know. I don't even know. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what that meant, but it's all good, I guess. I don't know. Then I had to think about what are my other I got plenty
What
of
were your other
problems.
problems? I don't know. And see, that was
Who
probably one of those things like
knows?
I probably
I
was
don't
like joking around and said it, but even though I probably
know.
shouldn't have said it. But you were pregnant. What could I have been saying? You have bigger problems to worry about.
Don't know. I
I
don't know.
don't
But it was
know.
kind of funny. I was like, well, maybe that's a good way to
But
look
was
at
it
it.
funny? You're remembering like 24 years? What's Ethan?
Yes.
24?
27,
Wait,
right?
Ethan's not 27? How old
No,
is your
we've been
son?
friends 27. My son is going to be 24.
Right. Okay. So you were pregnant with him.
Yes.
So it's about 24,
24
25.
years. About
Yeah, I don't
20.
know what I said, but the fact that you even remember
Yes.
that,
I
obviously I
just
said it and I
remembered
shouldn't have said it.
it. Yes, you
Okay.
shouldn't have probably said it, but it was fine. And I went, okay, but then I had to think about it. I'm like, I wonder
Do you really not remember, or are you trying to hurt my feelings right
I
now? Or trying
swear,
to save
I
my
don't
feelings
remember
right
what
now?
other problems I would have had.
Okay, so if I don't know either, but I wish we could go back in time.
Me
And
too.
I'm
Me
sorry.
too. No worry. No worry. Obviously, I got over it because we're very good friends. And
But
I
and
didn't,
you should always call me out and stuff. Like, isn't
I
that
would
what
have
friends are
called you
supposed to
out.
do too?
Now
I
I
feel
would
like call me out. Like, what do you mean by
absolutely.
that? Okay.
Absolutely. Hey,
Okay.
let's be real. Friends do that. Friends call each other out, and I think friends also give forgiveness more. Like, because if you like somebody, so if you like somebody, you're willing to forgive them easier. Isn't it true? Is that like so? That's
Yeah.
easy. If you like somebody, you forgive them more. Obviously, if you don't like somebody, they get away with very little.
You
They're
know,
like,
it's really funny, and I always bring sports into everything. But you know how we were talking about Saquon Barkley going to like the White House and stuff. We had like a conversation about that, and
yes,
it's like I don't know how I feel about it, but I'm like, wow, I was really forgiving for him, and tried to be like, well,
no, you like him.
tried to like justify all these different things. I'm just like, no, I
Mhm.
want to keep my sports, my politics separate as much as I'm
Yes.
in knee deep with them all, with them
Most people
both.
say their religion and their politics, but it's sports and politics.
Yeah. I got no religion. So
Amen.
I
Have at
like,
it.
I don't want them to, because I don't want someone to come to a sporting game wearing a hat of the people that I like or the people I dislike. I don't want to know your politics. I want to know, who do you root for? And if you don't root for the Philly teams, get out of my stadium. I don't
Now,
care who you vote for in the voting box. For that couple of hours, I just want to keep that all
can
separate.
you imagine?
Funny
Wait a
how
minute. Oh,
forgiving you
wait.
can
Let me
be.
ask you this. So Todd is not from this area,
No.
and was he originally a Philly? Okay.
No, when I
When
met
you dated, was he a Philly
when
fan?
he
Was
moved
he a
here,
Eagles
he was
fan?
never a New England fan, ever, ever, ever. He was
Okay.
when I met him, he used to follow the Seattle Seahawks because he loved Steve Largent. So he was a Seattle Seahawks
Oh,
fan, which
fair.
happened to be funny. My dad liked the Seahawks also. Um,
That's
only
fine.
to find out later, my dad really likes Minnesota. I don't know, but I grew up watching Eagles games, so my dad obviously likes the Eagles as well. But Todd came
Hmm.
here and we used to watch football together every Sunday. Um, I was always an Eagles fan. I don't remember the day that he was like, I'm going to start like in the Eagles or the Phillies. He didn't even have like a baseball team. He didn't follow any of the, Boston or anything like that. So he just followed everything loosely. Todd follows pretty much all the sports loosely. So I don't never remember the day. We've been together 31 years. Yes, 31 years. And I don't remember the day that he was like, I'm an Eagles fan. I forget that he's not from here and I forget that he's
Morphed
not a
into it.
Philly fan. So he's
He
lived in Philly
gradually morphed into it.
and he's lived in
This
this
woman
area
did.
for over
This
30
woman was such a.
years.
So yeah, you have to have some. It's funny because I heard Howard Stern talking about that the other day, and he's like, these people that wear like jerseys from Seattle or Dallas, and they've never been there, and he goes, I've always been because he's a Knicks fan because he was talking
Yeah,
about being a
yeah,
Knicks, and the
yeah,
Knicks
yeah,
were
yeah.
doing really well.
Sure.
I think the Knicks are doing really well. Aren't they?
Yeah, I think they
Pacers.
lost last night
Anyway,
though.
he's like, and he isn't. Yeah, I don't know, but they've been doing really really good, and he's a huge Knicks fan. He's like, I'm a New York fan through and through. Like these
Mhm.
people who wear jerseys from other places they've never even been. That's wrong. That's wrong. It gets people crazy. You want to talk
Um,
about a very emotional
no, and I
topic?
get that. I
Sports,
totally get that.
and,
But
and
yeah, I totally get it. But get out of my
that's going to
face.
be one of our topics.
But I like when we go to other games and we go
Yeah,
away
I
and you
get it.
hear the Phillies chants and the Eagles chants are louder than their own team fans.
Or but yeah, when you watch it on TV and you see a sea of red in
Yeah, and you're
like
hearing them doing
Pittsburgh
Let's Go Phillies
Pirates,
and you're like, dude, they're in like Colorado. It's great.
the Rockies. Oh,
Mhm.
by the way, did you watch the Colorado Rocky series?
Yes.
There was barely anybody in the stadium.
Barely anybody there.
It's a
Yeah.
shame, I guess.
Yeah.
They're not a strong team, and they were mostly Phillies.
Yeah.
I was
No,
like,
and that's what happens a
that's
lot of the way games. A lot of the teams are like that. But yesterday, Crook said something about like, oh, boy, they really packed them in here tonight. I hope they do this again tomorrow night. Or somebody, oh, I think Max Kepler said that last night. Like, oh, I hope they pack them in here again tomorrow night. And Crook was like, yeah, they will. Like it's every night. At Phillies every night. So it's just very funny.
it's great.
I know we just got off a
It's
tangent.
great.
How dare I bring up football? I started.
Because this is all about lies and truth and everything like that. So this is fun. I'm enjoying this. We're just spilling the tea again. But I actually have another thing that I did that I still think I should have told a lie. I should have lied.
Okay.
And this is probably going to be on the regret episode mentioned maybe. So not everybody has children. Not everybody can. Unfortunately, most people can adopt or have children in their life, but there are people, a lot of family members I have that make a conscious decision not to have children. I
Mm-hmm.
respect that decision. I think sometimes and this is we're just speaking reality. Children change your life,
For sure.
mostly obviously for the good, especially if you want them. But it is a change. It is life altering. It is a change. And if you are wanting to do it, and your body, of course, says to do it because it's survival of our species, you do it. But there are a good bit, like I said, in our family just didn't have children. So one of my family members had approached me years ago about having children, not having children, and I think physically she couldn't at this point have children. And she had remarried the second marriage and said, "We're thinking of adopting." And my first response, because I know them very well, and who am I to say? I probably should have put this in the no judge area, so don't come at me. But I was like, they're not patient. They like their own lives. They don't enjoy kid activities. They don't want to be disrupted from their routine, on and on and on. So when this person asked me, my first response was, and she goes, I think we want to adopt children. And I was like, oh, mm, you're asking, and she asked me. She was truly asking for my opinion. My opinion was, I think you should think long and hard about that. I don't know that that's the best idea. So it didn't, I think I must have taken her back by saying that. Would I stand by that decision today? Probably. Am I right? Probably not. So that's another time that I should have lied. I should have
You know, you
probably
could have
said,
said. You could have said
what?
you have bigger problems to worry about.
Oh, no, if somebody said that once to me, I couldn't believe they had the guts to say that to me. It was awful. You got bigger things to worry about.
Anyway, okay. Anyway,
Anyway, no, it wasn't
so
like
you
that.
told her. Okay, so you said
But
that's
I
fine.
couldn't do that. I couldn't lie. I couldn't lie. Oh, did you freeze
I
again?
think I did freeze. Oh, and a beautiful
Okay, so
face
part
at
two.
that. Let me
I
Stop.
don't know
Get
what
back.
happened.
Okay.
Sorry.
I
This
should
is
have
what
liked part
happens because
two.
we don't have a professional
Editor, producer, we have none of that yet. Anybody listening out there, would you like a job? We'll pay you.
we keep trying to pay people and they are
We
just
are trying to pay somebody to get us where we need to be. Anybody, really.
anybody.
Anyway, so what was I talking about?
Okay, so back to your friend. So you told them that and then what happened?
I told them that they never had children.
Okay.
It's actually, a decision now I hope, because this would go into the regret episode, but I'm hoping that my comment did not deter these people from adopting children if they truly wanted
Wait,
children.
so they never did adopt.
Nope, they never
And do you
adopted.
ever see them? Do you know where
All
they're
the
at?
time. Yes, all the
Okay.
time. So I
And you
don't want
talk
to
to
say
them.
all the time. So I don't want to say who that is, but
Okay, no, it's fine, but you know they secretly hate you.
probably get in line, ladies.
Or or it was the best thing that you ever did for them. Because I do think that when you're talking about like honesty and somebody asks you and if you have kids, which you did at the time, right?
I did. I did. Yeah.
So to actually tell people the truth, like, hey, kids
Think
are a
about
lot of work.
it.
They cost money, there's this, there's that. And if people who like their own schedule, hold on, I'm fixing.
And this isn't fair to ask this question, but I'm going to say this. I think adoption's a beautiful thing. If I could afford to have more children, I would adopt children. I would adopt or give somebody a chance or I would. But you have to. open your heart, and that's why I think the people are amazing who adopt or take in
Of,
foster children.
for
They
sure.
open their heart in a different way. They're selfless, they are non-judgmental, they are forgiving, they're giving, they're just better people that I think that I would be. And so I don't know if you're not cut out for, you have to put a lot aside when you adopt. And
Agree.
that's why I think those people are amazing. They're
I mean, you
amazing
have to
to
do that when
do
you
it.
have kids. So and again, when you adopt children, you don't know what their past are. I mean, most of the time, especially if you adopt a couple years old to teenagers, I always keep wanting to take in like a teenager, but I'm never home. My own teenager tells me she's home more than me.
Oh boy,
Um,
that's too much
so
then.
my
Yeah.
heart breaks for them, but I know my limits, and I know my limits with what I can handle, what I can do, um, with taking care of other people. So I think you have to know that, and you have to be completely selfless. And if
Oh
I were
boy,
going to do
I think
that,
I
I
lost
wouldn't
you
want to
again.
work. Yeah.
Yeah, you're starting to freeze up again. I don't
Oh,
like that. I don't think it's freezing.
oh,
I'm not.
my
I should
brain, it's
lie.
unstable.
Well, let's
Yes.
finish. Let's put us
Okay.
together in the end here. Let's come together in the end.
Okay.
We got a new segment. Let's talk about it. I think it's kind of funny, and it's going to be called the "Call Me Karen" segment. I thought it was kind of perfect, with the lies, no lies, a Karen. And I looked up on the internet what Google said about Karens. And Karens start out as like very privileged white women who were judgmental and degrading in a sense to people who didn't have what they had, and they thought they were better in their own. That's what it started out as. But when I think of a Karen, I think of somebody who just says a little too much, is a little too
You're freezing now.
extreme, not to look at her own issues, but to blame others for their issues. That's what I think of when I think of a Karen. What do you think of when you think of a Karen?
Just somebody who just mind their own damn business. I don't want to hear what you have to
Busy
say. Yeah.
bodies.
Yeah.
Shut the hell up, Karen. That's
Uh,
I know a lot of really nice Karens. I'm going to put that out there.
I do too.
But
I do too. I always think about that black guy in the park in New York. I think it was New York,
oh
and he was
yeah,
bird watching or something. But I want to say, like, that Karen did him a favor because I mean, she was shitty. But whatever happened, I think he's really successful now. I think it launched
good,
him, and the
good.
bird watching and everything. It's like, okay, well, a
See the one with
terrible
the
day turned into something good
dog
for
off
him.
the
Good, because she
leash?
should have minded her own business. Yeah, yeah,
See
yeah,
with
yeah.
the dog, with the one with the dog off the
Yeah,
leash?
yeah,
Yes, I remember that. See,
yeah. She
that's
was just a shitty
uh,
racist, is all she was.
but
So yeah.
yeah, well, that's awful, and that's probably what it is. It's probably what it comes down to, which is just like,
But good for him. I hope he's
I
successful
hope
now
he makes a
because of
million
her.
dollars
I
off
mean,
of
that's the best revenge, right?
it. No
When somebody
lying
does something
there.
shitty and you like are successful because of it. Yeah.
Yay! Oh my goodness. Well, we have to find a way to put these two videos together because this is so much fun. But anyway, I don't know what they call a Karen guy. Somebody I did read on the internet. You didn't see this, but I saw where it said Ken. They're called a Ken. Pete even said that. He's like, they're called
I
a Ken.
thought I would have found something that said Ken. So when I was Googling, I was looking, I came up with Chad, Terry, and Dude. And I was like, what? And so there was like this long explanation. So Chad is like, the alpha male and the alpha male acting, like a Chad and all the things that go with that. And then Terry, they described it as men with certain characteristics, but they wouldn't say what
I
characteristics.
wonder
And I'm
what they
thinking,
are.
did
Oh
they
my
mean a gay man? Did they mean what? I don't know, but it was the weirdest Google search I had. I'm like, I got to get this off my computer. And then, or
God.
just Dude. Dude can just fill in for
Dude,
Karen. Like he's
dude.
just a,
All
yeah.
right.
I was like, oh, well,
What
that's stupid.
we have a message for all the Karens. Should lie. Karen, you should lie.
Karen lie. Or just
Lie,
mind your
Karen.
own business.
Mind your own business, Karen.
Go
Oh,
lie and tell the
all
story
right.
somewhere else.
So anyway, let's get to our no judge. You go first.
I don't know. Let me see here. Did I put something in?
Did you
I
do
don't
your
know if I
homework?
have anything.
What? You okay? Now that's it. I'm good. You have to do your homework because I have a good one.
All right, go for with yours.
I might as well go with mine. Maybe you'll think of something. Your mind will come.
Okay.
So my no judge for this week is very much aligned with our topic. You should have lied. I have a problem, and don't judge me on this. If I don't like you, it's very possible that I will lie to you. Back up. It's very possible that I will not tell you the truth if I don't like you. People in my book, wrong, don't judge me, wrong, have to be worthy of the truth for me.
No, I like that.
I'm going to give you a for instance.
Okay.
I'm having Ethan. Ethan was a boy. I don't even know if I told you,
I
but
I
I'm
don't know.
having
I'm just hoping I'm not on the other end of this.
that comment.
Anyway, again.
Anyway, so I told a few people, even non family, that he was a boy. But the people I wasn't going to tell them the truth. And that I just not going to tell them the truth. Or when I was leaving my job way back when, there are people that I liked. I told them exactly why I was leaving, what happened, who I talked to, yada yada. People I didn't like, sorry, you don't need to know the truth. You just know that I'm leaving my job. I mean,
I get
there,
that. I get
and
that.
that's not good. That comes from a mother from mental illness. My mother taught me the world was out to get me. It was crazy. Those stories, I'm telling you, they're wild. They're wild. They're wild. The people on the radio were talking to her. She worked at the Vatican. This is an episode for another day. Believe me.
One of these
For a
days, we're
good
going to talk
laugh,
about that. Yeah.
for a reality check over, it is crazy. But anyway, that is my no judge. Don't judge me.
No,
If
would never judge you. No, I get that. I totally get that. And I can see why you have that. And I get that. And it's like you have to earn the truth. You have to earn the truth in my book, right? I would say for me, no judge. I mean, I guess
are you gonna, you better give me a no judge quick before we freeze up
before we
completely.
figure out, I'm super jealous of people who are good storytellers. So I
Ah,
know a lot of people that are really good storytellers.
ah,
I can sometimes off the cuff tell a story and it can be very, very funny, but it's
I won't
not a
judge you on that.
regular thing. And so people, so when you're talking about telling lies, you're talking about like exaggerating. I know this woman who used to be in a book club and she is the best storyteller to the point where she can't be telling the truth because it's such a funny story. Then I met her mom and there's a lot of truth in all her stories, but she's a really good exaggerator. So she's not actually lying, but she exaggerates the truth because she's such a good storyteller that it comes out to be a great story. I try to repeat a story and I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. All right, ask the source because the story will be much better.
That's good. I won't judge you on
Yeah,
that. I'm
yeah,
jealous of that too.
I'm not
Well,
a good
that's funny you
storyteller.
say that, and that brings up something from my favorite podcast. I listened to Pivot with Kara Swisher and Scott Galloway.
Mm-hmm.
Geniuses. They are absolute geniuses, both of them. They both started out in the tech. Well, I don't know about Scott Galloway, but Kara Swisher started out as a tech reporter, basically a journalist. She's brilliant. She's absolutely brilliant.
Hmm.
And they have their own podcast, and they have Pivot, which is like number 75 in the world. And they were just picked up again from the same network they were on, and they are really good. I highly recommend them. And
I
one of
think
the
she was
things
just
about
on Bill Maher 2 weeks ago too.
yes,
Yeah.
she is on Belmar. She flies to He's in San Francisco. Is that where he? I haven't
I think
watched him
so,
since we made
maybe.
the trek down to Mar-a-Lago.
No, I
I
still watch him.
don't, I don't have a problem with that. I just don't lie. How about that? You should lie. Maybe you
What?
should lie.
Hmm.
Anyway, I'm going to catch him. I just haven't had a chance, to be honest. But Scott Galloway had a segment, and I don't know if it was just a little snippet or a little thing, but what he says, and best thing to be successful is you need to be a very good storyteller. Storytelling is a success in marketing, in business, in entrepreneuring. You have to be able to tell a good story. And it's not necessarily fictitious. It's actually storytelling and giving the story. And I think what it means by that is you have to be able to paint the right picture. Because you're going to sell something, you have to know it all. You have to have the facts. You have to have the fun behind it. You have to have the reality behind it. And that's telling the story as it is and as it's tangible and you can touch it and you want to buy it. I mean, he's that good. He's that good. His storytelling and the way he delivers, he's superior. Explains why he's a millionaire. He deserves it. He's just that good. And
Yeah,
he
no, I
teaches
get that. And
NYU.
sometimes
He's a
like
professor. I would wish I could have taken one of his classes in marketing.
does he
And
have anything like I love like TED Talks. I love to constantly learn and
yeah,
constantly listen. And I'm a good public speaker when I'm planning it, but when I'm off the cuff and trying to talk, I'm a fast talker. My brain goes faster than my mouth and all that. So like you could learn a thing or two from people like that.
yes,
So storytelling,
absolutely.
I do believe you can learn it to a certain point, but I think there's some people that are just born with it, just
More natural.
naturally born with it. And people
Their
are just
mind
born to them
stays good.
also.
They
Yeah.
they know how to and it's funny you say that because I speak really, really fast. And when I had done presentations, and actually it was in California when I had done it for the company, I had been very good friends with people, my colleagues at that time. And it was funny, one of them came up to me who also was a fast speaker, and he said, I cannot believe that you slowed down and you were talked so slow during that presentation. I said, the whole time in my head, I'm going,
Hmm.
slow down, slow down. And it worked, but it literally does take a talent to be able to recall
For
all those
sure.
facts
For
in a script.
sure. And
Anyway,
just slow down. Could you imagine us like stopping and slowing down and finishing
yeah.
a sentence? We
Hell
never
no.
even finish a story.
Hell no. Not happening.
Yeah, yeah,
On
yeah.
that
But
note, on that note, we should probably say goodbye. and
Yes,
say,
before my internet goes unstable again. I'm telling you, the production team here is just the
yeah,
worst.
what's going on, Bob? Yeah, should we read the credits? How about hair and makeup? Non-existent. Production,
Non-existent. Yeah.
zero. Company.
I know. We'll get
uh,
better. I mean, one day we'll get some better equipment or
get
something.
some
I don't know.
producers. That's what we're going to do. We're getting a producer. Producer will
Hmm.
knock all this nonsense out. But maybe what next episode we have so many different topics, and we'll surprise everybody. But we still have women in sports we want to cover. We have Am I My Mother we want to cover. We can also add in there regrets, caring for an aging adult. That's an episode unto itself.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
So there's a lot for us to cover, but for now we'll finish up that we recall the time we should have lied. Okay.
Yes.
All
Yeah.
right. On that note, it's been fun. It's been a
It
good
has
time.
been. It
Breaks
has
and
been.
all. All
Breaks
right.
and all. We'll see if we can put that together. We'll have part one, part two.
Yeah, we're gonna figure that out. That's our
Yeah.
producing. We'll figure that out.
We have a
All
producer for
right.
that? Oh, no, no, we don't. Okay.
No, we don't, but we'll figure it out. Well, let's finish up tonight. I'm gonna let you go.
Okay.
Everybody have a good evening. Thanks for joining us. This is Nancy Smith for Just Our Take, and
I'm Danny Ingves. Have a great night. I'm going to finish this glass of wine.